These are in listen-only mode.
Hello, I'm Darcy Grimes with AAA Carolinas, and I'm delighted that you took the time to join us as we discover the Galapagos Islands with Celebrity Cruises. Please note that this webinar will be presented in listen-only mode, so should you have any inquiries or comments, you can use the questions section of your GoToWebinar toolbar and put those questions right into there, and we will read them at the end out loud for everyone. Without further delay, it's my pleasure to introduce to you Anna Benetti, Account Executive for the Galapagos product at Celebrity Cruises. Anna is basically in charge of and responsible for effectively communicating all things Galapagos through all channels. And she is pleased and proud to represent a company that cares so much for these islands and its people. And Anna, welcome, and can't wait to hear more about these wonderful islands.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Darcy. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. I truly am delighted to be able to spend some time with you today to share some information on truly a remarkable product. Cruising through the Galapagos is so different than any other cruise experience out there. And those of you who have cruised before, I'm going to ask that you switch gears and not think of that big cruise ship experience. Instead, I'm going to ask that you think smaller, more intimate groups of people that are all traveling together and are looking to experience flora and fauna that can't be seen anywhere else on this planet. And all of that with renowned Celebrity Cruises service. So we offer a truly seamless, all-inclusive, environmentally conscious vacation, Celebrity style. Celebrity offers an all-inclusive experience for our guests. So all of our 10-night and longer packages will include a pre- and post-stay experience in Quito, which we include all the transfers, the hotels, the full-day tours, as well as their meals. With that, we also include the round-trip airfare between Baltra, Galapagos, and Quito. We include, of course, the 7-night cruise, all meals, beverages while on board, all gratuities, all onboard programming, shore excursions, all excursions are included. We also include for you all the snorkeling gear, as well as wetsuits. So you really don't have to worry about absolutely anything. We'll also take care of getting for you the Galapagos National Park entrance fee and the tourist card fee. So really it is completely seamless, very easy once you have one of our 10-night or longer packages. We also offer, in addition to our 10-night package, we have an 11, 13, 15, and 16-night all-inclusive vacation. It simply depends how much time that you have to be able to take, and we do offer some wonderful experiences there. So our 10 or 11 night just adds an additional night in Quito. But then we have our brand new 13-night experiential package, and this is for those of you that really want to spend some additional time in the Galapagos Islands. So here you get to stay in Puerto Ayora, which is on the island of Santa Cruz, and you'd be able to spend some time with the agricultural community as well as local fishermen, and you get to learn about some of their challenges and what it's like to coexist with the land, as well as conservation efforts taking place. And then we also have the fabulous opportunity, and this is a really popular package as well, to extend the trip and visit Machu Picchu. So we have a 6 or 7 night post itinerary that visits Peru. So you get to see Lima, Cusco, the Sacred Valley, and of course one of the big highlights, which is Machu Picchu. So here are some recent accolades that we've received and are very proud of, and this includes our 2017 Best Overall in the Small Ship category for the 2nd consecutive year. And this was given to us by Cruise Critics Cruiser's Choice Award. So again, we're very proud and wanted to share that with you. So where the fittest survive, it's no surprise the best is expanding. And some of you may have heard about this, but we did recently acquire 2 additional ships in the Galapagos Islands. So this was our original coverage in the Galapagos, different ports of call that we visited. And now in blue, you can see the 10 new island locations that we've been able to add to our itineraries. So now in total, we have 6 unique itineraries, we visit 15 islands, and we have over 30 ports of call. So let's talk a little bit more about this experience. So the Galapagos Islands are located 600 miles off the west coast of Ecuador, as you can see here on the map, and you would be flying into Quito, which is the capital city. So here are some images of the JW Marriott Hotel that we use in Quito for all of our pre-packages. And it's a lovely property. The rooms are very spacious, as you can see here in some of the pictures. And we do have a hospitality desk right in the lobby in case anyone has any questions. And this main lobby area is also where we meet for our tours as well as for our dinners. So as I mentioned before, all of our packages include a pre-stay in the city of Quito. And really, the colonial city of Quito is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and I think merits at least a one-day visit. You get to see some beautiful architecture and learn lots of interesting history. And you basically so after breakfast, you spend the morning touring this colonial city. And then for lunch, you have the option of either heading back to the hotel if you're tired. We do have some guests that come in on some late flights the night before. But if you're up for it, and I would strongly recommend it, you can head out to the Middle of the World Park and Museum, which is a very interactive, lots of fun experience. And of course, you have to take that picture having one foot on each side of the equator. So the flight from Quito to Baltra, which is included in the package, is on an Airbus. We usually use an A319 or 320. You can see an image of one of the types of planes that we use. It is a common misconception that it's a prop plane or a small airplane. It isn't. It is a jet. And then the bottom right picture is of the airport in the Galapagos, in Baltra. So this is the main source of transportation ship to shore, including embarkation and disembarkation, and we call them our zodiacs. So we do offer 2 excursions per day, and on some occasions we also have a third excursion, which can include snorkeling, or on our 2 smaller vessels, kayaking is also available. And we do classify our excursions as a mild or more moderate option, which could include a short walk, or as you see pictured here, one of our coastal explorations. Or we do offer also a more strenuous option, which could involve perhaps a hike or a longer walk or some snorkeling. And all of that you get to decide the night before during the cocktail hour, after our naturalists give a presentation on what you'll see, what to look out for, and they'll give you some options on what excursions will be available the following day, and you would just sign up there. So we're always asked, Anna, will I really be able to see any animals, and how close will I be able to get? And the answer is absolutely yes. The animals in the Galapagos don't have a natural fear of humans. And there's lots of theories as to why this happens, but the really interesting fact is their ability to evolve and thrive in their environment. So here in front of you, you see an image of a tortoise in the highlands of Santa Cruz. Now, if you look closely, you'll notice it has a long neck and a concave shell. Now, this is how this particular animal has adapted to be able to find food in the higher grounds. So their shapes vary from island to island, and that is a direct result of their environment and food source and how they've had to evolve in order to survive. I'll give you a couple more examples of that. And also let me just give you some history about the Galapagos Islands. So they were formed due to collisions of tectonic plates, which created these volcanic eruptions. And we still have volcanic eruptions today in the Galapagos. The last eruption actually happened on Isabela Island in May of 2015. Now, in front of you is Fernandina Island, and this is a great example of the magnificent lava fields that you would be able to see and walk on. It's also where the largest colony of marine iguanas reside. And I know it's kind of hard to see here because they are a bit camouflaged to the lava, but there's 2 of them in the picture in front of you. And these are the only iguanas in the world that will dive into the sea to feed on algae. So they haven't yet evolved to be able to digest salt water. So after feeding, they'll lay out under the sun as they need the warmth of the sun to regulate their body temperature, and then they'll sneeze to expel the salt water. And again, very interesting to see. And this may look like a professional photograph, but lots of the pictures that I have here are ones that have been shared to me by guests that have been there, colleagues that have gone, and I'll show you some that I took myself as well. So really, no need for professional photography. The wildlife makes you look like a professional. But here's a wonderful capture of a marine iguana feeding on the green algae. Now, if any of you are bird watchers, you may recognize this bird. Cormorants exist all over the world. I am in Miami, Florida, and we do have them here on the bay. You can see them pretty frequently, and they are very common. However, the one that lives in the Galapagos Islands has changed, and it's adapted to become its own separate species of bird. And those of you that are familiar with cormorants will notice that the wings on this bird are quite small. So this bird has lost its ability to fly because it doesn't need to. It found that to survive on these islands, its best bet to find food was to dive into the ocean. So their wings slowly became smaller over many, many years, which allows them to be more streamlined in the water, and they do feed right nearby. So I think this is another great example of adaptation and evolution. So these are the three boobies that exist in the Galapagos. They usually can't be seen on the same island, but there's always exception with wildlife. And there are two places that it's frequent to see all three, and that's in Punta P in San Cristobal and Darwin Bay in Genovesa. Now the blue-footed booby, really easy to identify, of course, by its blue feet, and it does perform an elaborate mating dance, showcasing its feet to its mate. And then you have the more elusive booby, which is the red-footed booby. And now this is the only one that has the ability to perch on branches. And then you have the Nazca booby, which is the one on the right. This is the one that feeds furthest away from shore. And this one looks like it's wearing a superhero mask. So that's how you can easily identify it. Now, the only place in the world the waved albatross mate is on Hispaniola Island in the Galapagos. They arrive around March or April and stay until about October or November. And one of the really neat things about them is that they mate for life. So both parents help in raising the chicks. So during the incubation period, they take turns feeding the baby, and then they teach it how to fly. So once the young are strong enough to fly out on their own, the male and the female will depart on their own separate ways, only to come back and reunite the following season and start that mating ritual again. So this is definitely one of the favorites in the island. They're also very, very graceful when they're flying, but once on land, they're quite clumsy, and it's really fun to watch. So here's an example of the beautiful white sand beaches that can be seen. This is Gardner Bay, but you should know that in the Galapagos Islands, you may also see black sand beaches, red sand beaches, and even green sand beaches. And it's simply based on the sediments of the area. So all of our itineraries offer numerous opportunities to snorkel. And I have to tell you that this is probably one of my favorite parts of the trip. I love snorkeling, and I've had the opportunity to do so in different parts of the world. But life underwater in the Galapagos is incredible. You get to swim with sea turtles, with penguins, which I wasn't expecting and was really an absolutely unique experience. You see beautiful starfish, and of course the friendly sea lions. They are incredibly friendly. They'll pirouette and put on a show right in front of you. They'll blow bubbles in your face, and it really is a major highlight for lots of guests visiting the Galapagos Islands. They definitely have no fear of humans, and they just want to play with you. So they're really, really a big highlight here. So let's shift gears a little bit, and let's talk about our fleet. So these are the three vessels that we have in the Galapagos Islands. The first we'll talk about is our award-winning luxury mega yacht, which is Celebrity Expedition that you see in the picture here. On board here, we'll offer excursions where we have 16 guests per naturalist, So right off the bat, you know, they're small groups. Really, the levels of service on all three of these vessels is incredibly high. It's very personalized. And this ship also does offer a variety of suites. So if you're someone that really would love to travel in the ultimate luxury of having a suite, this would be a wonderful option for you. It does offer 2 alternating itineraries that depart on Sundays. We also have packages that can be added to here, so the 10 and 11 night Quito, or if you'd like to explore Peru, we do have the 15 night package that we can add to Celebrity Expedition. And it is a 100 passenger vessel. So I'll share with you some more pictures of the ship, just to give you an idea of what it looks like. So we have lots of open spaces to enjoy the views. This is the Beagle Grill, which we serve a light continental breakfast. It is available during lunchtime. We do have a grill that is available. It's probably like my favorite place to eat just because it's so nice to constantly be seeing the views. And then it is also available for dinner. We do have select nights that we do a dining under the stars, that we also have that option available on Expedition. This is the Discovery Lounge. So this is where the evening before an excursion, this is where we gather for a cocktail hour. Then after the cocktail hour, the naturalists will stand up. They'll give a talk about what they're going to see the next day. And then our guests can select what excursions they would like to be a part of. So all of our naturalists are certified by the Galapagos National Park, and they will stay on board for the entire voyage. This is a Darwin's Restaurant. This is the main dining venue on board. This is available for breakfast and lunch, where we do have buffet style service. And then in the evenings, we do have a menu and tableside service for you. So here's an example of some of the staterooms that we have on board. And then let's talk about Celebrity Experience. So Experience is a 48 passenger ship, and it has 24 stylish ocean view staterooms available on board. Here, as we get smaller in proportion, we now have groups of 12 guests per naturalist. So if you're somebody that is looking for a more adventurous type of experience, this is a great option for you. This does also offer kayaking in addition to snorkeling. And then this does depart on Saturdays. It has, again, 2 unique itineraries. And we can add a 10-11 night Quito package. We can also do the 13-night experiential package here. And we have the 16-night Peru option available on Celebrity Experience as well. So these are some actual photography that we received very recently. So I'm happy to be able to share that with you. This is the outside deck. And this is the outdoor dining area. Now this one is still a rendering. I still haven't received the photography, but it'll give you a good idea of what the space looks like. As well as the lounge. This one is also a rendering. But here we're back to real photography. So this is a picture of the restaurant. And now we'll take a look at the 3 different ocean view rooms that are available on this vessel. So this is the Elite Ocean View Room, the Premium Ocean View Room, and this is the Deluxe Ocean View Room. Now let's talk about our fabulous Celebrity Exploration, which is our 16-passenger catamaran. It is a motor yacht catamaran, and it is a wonderful opportunity for charters, as it's only 16 guests. So what a more, I can't think of a more fabulous way to explore the Galapagos with a group of friends or a group of family traveling together. So it is available for charters, but it can also be booked individually as well. If you're interested in just traveling with your significant other, it is available. But it is really an incredible opportunity. If you do have a celebration or something that you would like to do, like a family reunion or something like that, this is a great opportunity for that. And it does, again, depart on Saturdays. It has 2 unique itineraries as well, but it has the same packages as Experience. So you can do the 10-11 Quito, the brand new experiential 13-night package that you can stay some time in the Galapagos after the cruise, and then the 16-night package to Peru. Let's show you some pictures of this. Now, these are all actual photography that we took late last year. You can see how stunning this catamaran is. This is what the sun deck area looks like. This is the al fresco dining area outside. This is the restaurant during the day. So again, very different concept than the big cruise ship experience. We're talking really small groups here, which is nice because we get some flexibility with that too. And this is the restaurant in the evening. You can see how beautiful that is. This is the junior suite. So I tell you, when I was on board, I think the one thing that surprised me the most, or I guess I wasn't expecting, was the size of the rooms. So the junior suite on here and the ocean view, which I'll show you in just a bit, they're incredibly spacious. There's lots of storage space. I know for me that's important. I unfortunately still tend to overpack. But yes, it is very, very spacious, lots of luxurious details, which I think is really important after a long, rugged day of exploration. This is the private veranda. It's a beautiful picture. That's Daphne Major and Daphne Minor in the background. And then this is the ocean view room that I was talking about just a little while ago. So you'll notice something that looks different. Those of you that are big cruisers will automatically notice there's a door on this room that leads to the outdoors. Well, all the rooms on the catamaran exit to the outdoors. So although this is not a private veranda, you're welcome to walk outside with a cup of coffee in the morning or a glass of champagne in the evening and enjoy the views from right outside your room. And again, please notice the details on here and how spacious this room is. So the Galapagos Islands really does provide transforming experiences. I think you get to see the world through a child's eyes with the understanding of how special and unique the experience is. And when you're there, each day you think, wow, that has got to be the best day of my trip. And then the next day comes and you see something that you weren't expecting to see or an experience that you weren't expecting to have. And it gets even better as the days go on. And it's sort of that same pattern throughout the entire trip, which is really remarkable. For me, I'd have to say one of the neatest things about this is, sometimes at night I'd be really exhausted after a full day of doing everything, because I always sign up to everything. You certainly don't have to, but I was like, I'm here again. I need to see all of these things. And there's always something different. It doesn't matter how many times you go back to the Galapagos. If you have the opportunity to do so, each trip will be unique, each trip will be memorable, and each one will be different, which is so wonderful. But I would, stay in my room in the late in the evening before going to bed, and I would take a look at all my pictures and videos that I had taken, and I could not believe that I took those pictures. And I think that's something that kind of stood out for me. And I think when I came, when I come back and I share the pictures with my friends, they're like, "Did you really take that?" And I'm like, "Yes, I took it, and I don't have a very professional camera or anything like that." So I think that's something that it was very impacting or rewarding for me too. So here are some pictures that I've taken, that colleagues have taken, that guests have sent to me. So you can take a look at some of those. Again, none of these are really professional photographs. The top left is a penguin that got, that took I didn't even know I had that picture on my GoPro, but it was, when I was looking through them, I was like, I don't remember that. They're incredibly fast swimmers, so I still can't believe I have that picture, but just wanted to share some of those with you as well. So we've been working in the Galapagos since 2004 and are truly the destination experts. So we handpick the best naturalists. Again, all of them are certified by the Galapagos National Park. And we offer award-winning shore excursions. And all of those are vetted by world-renowned marine biologist and oceanographer, Dr. Ellen Prager, which is the person you see on the picture on the right here. So let's talk a little bit about about the celebrity Galapagos guest. So if you're somebody that has, explored the Mediterranean and explored the Caribbean, and you want to do something that you really can't experience anywhere else on this planet, this is a wonderful opportunity for you. And now with the variety in vessels and options that we have there, and the really seamless way that we do it, we really make it easy to visit. So we definitely welcome families. We do have multi-generational travelers coming, especially during the summer months and the holidays. And I'd say really to really enjoy this, we'd recommend that the minimum age be 8 or 9. We really want kids to be able to participate in perhaps the snorkeling off the beach, and we want them to also, have this trip be memorable for them. So definitely families are welcome. So again, why choose Celebrity to visit the Galapagos Islands? So again, we are the Galapagos experts. We offer the only true all-inclusive experience. We have the best value proposition. We do have the 3 distinct options for you to pick from, depending on what ship works or fits best for you. We have a comprehensive portfolio of itineraries and packages, as we talked about earlier. So usually our minimum is our 10-night package, and it is quite popular. It's probably the most popular of them. But we do have lots of interest in our new 13-night package, where you can stay some more time in Puerto Ayora and the Galapagos. And of course, our Peru package, lots of guests take advantage of being able to group 2 major destinations in one vacation. And really, with one phone call, it's a seamless experience. So you can reach out to AAA at the phone number you see on the screen here, which is 800-444-8691. You can also visit their website and get an appointment with an agent, and they'll be able to assist you with this. And really, I think that the most important thing is that you will be transformed. The Galapagos is definitely a magical place. And really important, I think, to visit at least once in your life. So with that, I'll open it up to some questions. You're welcome to share through the chat, and I'll pass it back to Darcy. Thank you so much, all of you, for your time.
So far, no questions have been submitted, Anna, but amazing presentation. I know I just can't even imagine a better destination to experience. And again, we just invite you to contact your local AAA office at 800-444-8691, or, really take some time, make an appointment with an agent and sit down and discover more about either this or any of Celebrity Cruises' amazing itineraries that they have to offer. Oh, here we go. I've got a question. How hard is it to use tripods and large lenses when taking photography, I guess?
So we do, I mean, if you're going in as a professional photographer, the Galapagos National Park requires you to fill out some additional forms. So if you're talking about a professional photographer, then that you may have to get registered and sign up and special permissions for that. But in terms of how difficult it is, you are walking with a group of people, so I think it would be easier for you also to carry something that is manageable, as sometimes the terrains are rough. You're walking on lava fields, sometimes over boulders or on beaches, so you really want to have your hands free. We do also provide walking sticks on board if you need them, but I would take something that is easy to carry, I think, most importantly. On some of our excursions, we also have some wet landings from the Zodiacs, which you really only get wet up to, I would say, ankle or sometimes your knee. Just, I guess, depends on how tall you are. But you really don't want to have a very large lens, a very large camera and a tripod and all of this trying to get off the Zodiacs. Of course, our naturalists will help you, but that's, I'd say try to take something, it definitely helps to take a nice camera, but try to take something that's convenient and easy to carry as well.
Yeah, I would think that probably, from the ship, you could probably set up your tripods and your large lenses to get some of those, photos. But from what the photos that you've shown, it may not even be needed, a large lens, right?
Yeah, no, you definitely don't need a very large lens or a very good zoom. The animals will come up to you to the point that you need to move to the side to let them pass.
Okay, the next question is price, of course. We get this often. Anna and I were talking about this a couple days ago when we were chatting. It really does depend on time of year, availability, how many cabins are already sold on the sailing. And that's why we just really would urge you to reach out and speak with an agent to better understand what you're looking for. And so that way you get a true price point for what you're after. I do have a question here, Anna. What is off season?
So this is a wonderful question. Thank you for asking. So one of the wonderful things about the Galapagos Islands is that it doesn't really have an off season. It is a year-round destination. Just because of its geographic location, it's located right on the equator. So the temperature maintains pretty mild year-round. It is a little bit warmer, I would say between, let's say, December and June. Probably April, May would be the warmest months. But really, year-round, it is a destination that you can visit. You'll always be able to see wildlife. You'll always be able to snorkel with sea lions and sea turtles. So that's one of the wonderful things about it. So really, just check your calendar, see when you can travel, and we can probably get you there.
Probably the best time to go is when you have the most time to spend, right?
Yeah. Whenever you have the most vacation days or the most time that you can take off, that would be a perfect time to visit.
Okay, that is all the questions that we have. So again, just thank you all for joining us today. We really appreciate you taking the time and certainly hope to see you in the Galapagos Islands at some point in the future. Thank you, Anna.
Thank you. Thank you all so much.
Goodbye.